This young man, 18 years old, um, 18 years old. I mean, and his story is incredible. He's been recognized by the mayor of Norfolk, Virginia. He's won several awards. Published in the nation's second eldest African American magazine, in which they claimed him to be a positive black man. His favorite quote: "If God is for me, who the heck can be against me?" Let me tell you, this dude, like, I mean, his story is just incredible, and you're about to find out, his story and everything that he's gone through to get to where he is. But Abdul, he's again, like I said, he's really he his and I don't say this often, but his ministry is definitely needed for this time. Mr. Bell, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. Great, man. Listen. Just start out by telling the people a little bit about you. You were in Virginia and you just left and came to Atlanta. What was that about?
Well, first and foremost, I just wanted to say, this is not just, a decision that I decided to make just because. God has really been using every situation that I've been through to get me to where I am here in Atlanta, Georgia now. But my aunt, age 18 years old, a senior in high school, straight A student, actually took custody of me at age 2. When my mom couldn't take care of me, I was getting ready to go into foster care. And throughout my journey, to live with my father, I was actually heading to a path of, destruction, basically. I definitely wouldn't have been here today. But, what's that?
Oh, I was just laughing.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that really, 2 years ago, I told myself, I said, I really wanted to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And what my aunt taught me was to be independent. When she would go off to work, I had to stay home and help watch the kids, so I learned how to cook. I would direct little shows, where the community would come out and actually come to my house and watch shows like I pretend to be Mr. Brown or somebody else. But every time somebody came, it always was a good show and everybody was satisfied. So, going through what I've been through actually built me to be a greater person, and I would never, take my struggle for granted, because I always say not only does your passion or your talent make you who you are, but your struggle does too. But it just depends on who's giving you your struggle. Are you afflicting your own struggle? Are you starting your own struggle, or is God giving you the struggle? Because when God gives you a struggle, you're not able just to go through it, but you grow through it. You know what I'm saying? So moving down here, people were like, "Man, you are crazy. You're not." I had people tell me I was going to be nothing. I was told that my network, the people that I was talking to, was nothing. I was told that my work ethic was nothing, and that I shouldn't go. But I was not told I was not given any encouragement to leave. But that was just a test, because it was actually a week before I came here. And, I said, what, God, you brought me this far. I'm not going to, just because I moved somewhere else does not mean that you're going to leave me. So that's how I really came here to Atlanta. And I packed up my little suitcase with a little bit of stuff I did have, bought my Greyhound ticket, and I made my way up here.
Man, I mean, that is just incredible. When you turn 18?
I turned 18 January 24th.
Okay, so you're about to be 19.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I am grown.
Well, you are grown because you did just turn 18.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. No, I'm just playing. But no, that's cool, man. So we talked earlier, and you spoke about when you were on MARTA, or you're on a train or something, and this lady told you to panhandle.
Mhm.
What was that experience like? Did you ask her for money? How did that whole thing come about?
It was a hot mess. I applied for food stamps. I moved here. One thing I don't understand is why is it a federal law that once you turn 18 and you go off to college, even if your family had food stamps before, you have to get a job in order to to get it. Like we're just gonna turn 18, get jobs like that. But anyways, I went to downtown Atlanta to apply for food stamps. I was denied. I wasn't upset. I wasn't really upset about it. I was disappointed. But it was an older black lady. And, for young black men, the older black lady, she stands for wisdom. She stands for grace, positivity. I'm going to help you, my young black brother, all that good stuff. So she saw me with my book bag on. She knew I was a student because I gave her my own ID. And I explained to her, I said, look, I came down here on faith. I'm just going through some things. I just really need your help. Could you please help me with $2.50 so that I can get on a train to go home? And before I even got the question out, she said no. And then she said, go to the corner of the street. No, she said, go to 5 Point. And she said, go over there and you can panhandle. So I went there to panhandle, and it was heart-wrenching. It was sad. Because people were walking away from me, running from me because they thought I was probably a scam artist or a drug addict. Black people. They were running from me. And I was like, oh, my gosh, what's wrong with me? So I was looking like, and after a while, I just started singing Take Me to the King by Pamela Mann. And it was like, truth is I'm tired. And I just kept singing that. And I was like, Lord, I'm tired, man, like really. And a lady came up to me and she gave me a hug. And she reminded me of my mom. And she gave me the $2.50 I needed to get on the train. I hugged her. I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to talk and all that stuff, but I was crying so bad my words were like jumbling. I couldn't speak English. So I just looked at her and I gave her a hug and walked away and got on the train.
Wow. I mean, just to be told, you better go.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
She was a mess. Won't you imagine?
Yeah. I can only imagine. Only imagine because thinking about past situations where I've been in, having to borrow money and ask people for people that I didn't know. It's just real. It's not an easy thing to do. But you did it and you got home. Hallelujah.
Yeah, guess what? Hey, that's not even the end of it though.
Yeah.
Look, I got home and then I found out I had an interview that same day. I walked over 5 miles. I walked over 5 miles to the job interview, and I told the employer, I said, look, I walked 5 miles to get here. I told her, I said, I have a background in theater. And I said, my background in theater is going to teach me, how to do this job. I said, because you have to know how to listen to the director. You have to know when not to, when he's fussing at you is because he wants you to do right and all that other stuff. And she gave me the job. That same night I went home and I had a job. So, after singing that song and stuff, God actually hears you. Just because you cry out don't mean He's going to do it right away because He does it on time. If He does it before, everything is not going to link up like it's supposed to. You know what I mean? You're not going to be in the right place at the right time because you want to be so fast and slick about it that you're going to delay your blessing.
Right. Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, you are that. That's good stuff, man. I just applaud you. Just taking the time to do that 5 miles and just your willingness and your dedication and your discipline to make that. To make that happen.
I tell you my aunt. She taught me this stuff, because she had to walk miles. We had to walk miles and ride our bikes everywhere. She was an independent woman. She has my little brother now too, because my mom she's not too well. So my aunt has my little brother. She's taking in all of her her sisters and brothers. She's taking some of her cousin's kids, her cousins, her dad, and everybody. And because she taught me to walk miles and stuff and to get to where I need to be, that's how I made it here. And I feel like God set that up so perfect. Like, it was so perfect.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is like some real inspiring stuff, man. Again, 18 years old, you know what I'm saying? That I can only imagine. I remember where I was at 18. You know, we kind of joked about it earlier, but you know, just to be in that situation, and I'm thinking, you know, to myself, well, at the time I was 19, my family and I, you know, didn't have, you know, I've been through homelessness and all that good stuff. You know, I've been through homelessness, but you know, at one point, my family and I, 17 months, we walked. We had to catch the bus, catch the train. Didn't have any transportation or anything for 17 months. You know, and I'm 19, so man, I can only like so relate to you because I know what that does mentally to a person. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can really understand what that does mentally. You know, and of course that just brings me back to, you know, the point of the show, just being thankful. You know,
right.
You know, just being thankful for things that you have. You know, so what does you know, what are some of the things that you're thankful for?
Well, okay, some things I'm thankful for is definitely my family, because you know I have a really crazy family. we you know we fuss and we fight and stuff, but we definitely look out for each other. Even though I had to delete some of them off of Facebook, you know, because they were harassing people. But yeah, man, harassing my Facebook friends. But okay, yeah, my family, my aunt definitely. You know, without her, I definitely would not be here. I wouldn't. I'm also thankful for my talent. You know, I'm thankful for my passion. I'm thankful for the struggle, because without the struggle, I would have not been able to advance. You know, I would not be 18 with this amazing story, because without your struggle, you really don't have a story. That's how I see it. You know, if you've never been through anything, how can you tell somebody to get through it? You know, you have more of a you're more credible. You know what I'm saying? Not incredible, but credible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, that's great, man. Like, what's one of your most memorable Thanksgivings?
Oh, goodness, I really don't know. And then it was just food. Yeah, then I didn't really think too much about it, just food and stuff. But I remember my granddad made some, you're going to say eel, but he made some potato pudding. Ever heard that?
Potato pudding?
Yeah, potato pudding.
No, I ain't never heard of that, bro.
he took that slave food. Like for breakfast, pudding. For breakfast he makes pig brains and eggs.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay, now I done heard of people eating chicken hearts. I done heard of people eating chicken feet. I done heard of people eating chitlins. Pig brains?
Yeah, and eggs at that. And he mixes up like he making some sausages. It's like a whole brain, too. It's like right inside the pan.
Wow.
That's my granddad. Yeah, I don't eat nothing that I don't know what he cooking. But
how old is he?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He's about 62, 61, 62,
wow.
63.
Shout out to Granddad. Shout out to pig brain eating Granddad.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff, man. So tell us a little bit about your the play that you wrote, inspired by For Color Girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I looked at For Color Girls, I always knew, you know, that I always been a fan of Tyler Perry for one. And I know the play was originally written by Shanji before it was turned into a movie by Tyler Perry. But I became aware of it by Tyler Perry because of the movie, you know, because the play was way before my time. But I became inspired when I looked at it, and I said, wow. I looked up Shanji, and she had something called, a term that she coined called choreo poetry. And it's basically when you're using your body to express the words that you're speaking in the poems that you're reading. And actually, it tells about someone's life and what they've been through. And when I saw the movie, I said, wow, this is very powerful. And I said, but, the women, even though women are very strong, we have some very strong women, but young men go through a lot of stuff too, older men too. So I decided to, actually when I was writing this, I was at Regent University, and I was writing it, and I had no idea what I was writing. I was actually just writing a poem, and then it became another poem, and then it became another poem, and then it started becoming dialogue. Then I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, what's going on? This is a play. So it came together, and this is definitely God's doing, because at the end of the, when I was finished, when I realized that it was a play, I said, okay, now I can add juicy details. You know how we do, when we want to add extra this and that and make it dramatic. But I could not think. Everything shut down. And then I had to put a period at the end of the last sentence. And that's when I knew that this play was made for a higher purpose. And it's definitely going to impact, and it's going to encourage young black men, young men everywhere, but this is more entailed for the African American culture and what we go through. But it's definitely going to inspire. It covers such topics like homosexuality, very controversial stuff, homosexuality, all the way to being poor, to having a mom that's schizophrenic and that's on drugs. It's really deep stuff. But at the end of the play, it's very very inspirational. At the end, somebody understands that they are a man, because at the beginning everybody's just boys, and then at the end they realize, hey, we're blaming the world and society for everything, but do we not know that we can make it if we just put our minds and our hearts to it, So it's a lot of very crazy things that go on in play. But at the end, somebody realizes that, this is not it. I'm blaming everybody, but I'm not looking at myself.
Right. That's good stuff, man. What's it called?
When Tears Betray the Rainbow.
When Tears Betray the Rainbow. When Tears Betray the Rainbow. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. That's some good stuff, man. We have to wrap up because we have to, to move on. But let me ask you this: to any young person that is listening out there that, is either dealing with some issue, with some molestation, maybe that they're holding a secret, maybe even homosexuality, that they, kind of feel guilty about some things or whatever. Or just even, frustrated and just tired, or want to give up, because you recently, was in a state of hunger. I was laughing because I saw your post on Facebook. You were talking about the kids in Africa. What would you say to them, those that are just kind of dealing with those those things, kind of like an inspirational tidbit? What would you say to them?
This is what I would say. No matter what you're going through, no matter what it may be, no matter who says you can't do it, who says you won't do it, and who says that you're not going to do it, no matter what that is, if you take that and turn it into motivation, it's going to motivate you to go to the next level. And no matter how hard the struggle is, there's nothing too hard, that you can't bear it. If you take that and turn it into positivity, even though you may get sad, even though you may you feel like you're depressed or you feel like you just can't do it, you keep on just pushing forward and looking at the end of the tunnel. The destination. It's not the situation, but it's the destination. So that's what I would say. Just continue to walk inside your promise, because the promise is so there. But if you continue to give into illusion, there will be no conclusion. I love that.
Oh, Mr. Bell, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, man. We got to get you on, got to get you on again and talk about some other things. But yeah, man, I just thank you for taking the time out to be on the show. Appreciate you, man.
No, most definitely.